Welcome, guys, to We Don't Know Ball with NBA, and our glorious child has been returned from the promised land. Basically, Retro has risen from the dead, back from doing his things, and he told us that he didn't watch us shit talk him, so now we get to shit talk him in person. So again, welcome to We Don't Know Ball. Justin, Retro again. I'm your host, Jules. We're talking some NBA today. The NBA Cup is happening as we speak, and what I'm wearing, San Antonio. Shout out to them. They're playing the Knicks right now, and they're up by a couple points. But before we get into our today's episode, Retro, how are you doing? How was everything while you were basically dead?
Good, except I wasn't aware that my podcast mates were talking about me while I was gone.
Yes,
That's fun, though, because it's going to make it all the more sweeter because I am back. Their narratives are done. Time for me to come back to pushing the real, true narratives that the NBA and NFL communities want and need. I am here to push the truth and nothing but the truth. They call me Abraham Lincoln because I have never told a lie. It is time for me to lock in, ladies and gentlemen. I am glad to be back. It was fun at Disney. I enjoyed myself. I did not enjoy myself being extremely sick after, but that's cool because I'm back and I'm here and I'm ready to go. It's about to be Christmas time. I'm feeling the Christmas spirit. And in the spirit of the Christmas spirit, the Boston Celtics are wearing green and Jaylen Brown is the best player on the team. I'm ready to be back.
Got it. So, just so we're clear, never told a lie. Bulls are a top 3 team in the East. Josh Giddey is a top 5 point guard. JD5 is going to lead our team to win the division. The Redskins, the Commanders are one of, if not the best team in football. Terry McLaurin's a top 5 receiver. How many more do I have to? How many more of these? How many more of these asinine takes, bro? You know, for somebody who's going to school to be a lawyer, you sure throw the most asinine takes. You should honestly just become a private, defender. You should literally just defend the scumbags with the way that you spew bullshit. You could probably get anybody off.
We are not going to do that because a lie implies intent. I had no intent to mislead. A, I was right about Josh Giddey. B, outside of
Hold on. Because I think we're now up to the point where we can name 15 guards in the East alone better than Josh Giddey.
And I said this season, and you can try, but you will not be able to. B, as far as all the other things are concerned, I can't control the fact that my entire team got injured. Unfortunately, that is a part of the game, and sometimes it happens. But that's not really an unfair take on my part. I don't know what you want me to do about that. C, wait until next year because Washington will be back. And
I feel like that's your entire shtick now is just wait and see.
Thankfully, last year,
we won't see because the Bulls are going to stay mediocre.
Was going to be really good. I was right. So last year I was right about Jaden Daniels. He led us to the NFC Championship game. I knew that he would lead us to the playoff because I knew it was him. So I will be right again because next year when our team is healthy, he will come back and lead us again, once again, playoff.
So yeah, remember again we had this conversation. Hey Retro, do you remember when the Bulls started out? I believe it was 6-2 to start their first 8 games.
Yeah.
And now they're, since that time 4-13.
Yes. They always.
Yeah. You can just you can sit back, stop drinking the Kool-Aid because Josh Giddey's a bum. His half-court offense is terrible. Your team is terrible. Your pace and space is terrible. If Vucevic wasn't there, you guys would probably be in the same category as the Wizards for wins. So let's just not even talk about
Giddey and Vucevic are both really good.
Yeah, that's great, and I'm sure
Giddey's one of the main reasons why Vuce is so successful.
I'm so sure of it, and that's the exact reason you said we'll be fine when Kobe White comes back. Tragic. New Paddock. Sorry, not sorry. Don't care. Wake up. Go back to sleep. Hit the alarm.
Let's get into the
29-9, by the way.
Okay, cool. PRA merchant. So okay. So today we have a couple of our mid-season takeaways, and we do want to talk about some of these teams. And I know Justin, you usually do this kind of stuff, but you're too busy rage baiting.
I'm
So
not
please
rage
go
baiting.
ahead.
I'm just trying to put co-host 3 back in his place now that he finally decided to show up to work.
Is
He
he Molly now?
And I am him.
Oh no,
Mhm.
no, we've been over this, Jules. We can go back a couple weeks and clip it to where I rage baited Retro and said you can't have Molly takes when Jules is supposed to be Molly. That's just not how things work.
I am back, and I am here to set the record straight. It's time for the real takes that the community needs.
Bro,
Take
Justin,
it
what do we-
away,
you are
please.
Retro A spec, and the A is for autistic. I swear to God.
The A is for
Alright.
awesome.
Yeah.
The A is for
My
awesome.
God. Anyway, all right, I'll move swiftly on. So yes, this is something I've been wanting to do for a couple weeks now. I wanted to give our way too early predictions, our mid-season predictions on where teams, people, everybody under the sun is going to finish when that 82nd game is all said and done before we hit the playoffs. I want to go in reverse order just to save the MVP for last, just because that's, I feel, the way it should be. We should give this man all the credit in the world, even though somebody really, 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 really doesn't like him on this podcast. But yeah, let's start from Executive of the Year. Basically, the Executive of the Year is the guy who's going to get credited with he did the right things, he did the best things for his team, he made all the right off-season moves, he did all these things. It's an award that gets put out basically every year. I don't exactly know who this is the name I pulled up because he was technically the CEO, but I also do know who the president of operations is in this situation. My Executive of the Year, and this is going to come down solely to how they handle moving forward right now, is R.C. Buford for the San Antonio Spurs. And I think that he will win this if his team continues in the path they're trending, and if they manage to navigate this trade that they're trying to pull off with Giannis. If they can manage to keep all the pieces that they need to keep on top of bringing him in, their team's going to finish top 5 in the league. Their team is going to make a deep playoff run with these two, whether Spurs fans want to admit that these two will work together or not. On top of the ability to keep your young core and not really make any drastic moves in the offseason, if this team can finish top 5 and do what it can, I can see him winning this over OKC's, even though OKC's is just, I mean, Danny Ainge's just so fucking good at his job, but yeah, that I have R.C. Buford of the San Antonio Spurs winning this.
Retro, go ahead.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I picked Trajan Langdon of the Detroit Pistons. I think that the Pistons have gotten off to a fantastic start. Obviously, they're first in the East. I think that you could argue that quite a bit of it is because of his moves. I think that he made some good depth signings in guys like Karis LeVert and Javonte Green. I think those were solid signings that are coming deep off the bench. And you have the Duncan Robinson trade, and I think Duncan Robinson has been pretty solid for them. He's averaging 12 points a game. I think that all in all, I think he's made some good moves. The biggest thing the Pistons needed was depth. They have a lot of like star power at the surface, but they kind of needed some things coming off the bench. I think he provided just what they needed, and that plus the Pistons' insane start, I would give it to him.
I guess I get the layup. I would say those are Buford and the Pistons GM are my second and third. I think by and far none. It's Presti. I think Presti's gonna get gift wrapped this because of what OKC is doing and how he was able to manifest this team over the last several years, and the fact that they're on this historic pace because of all the draft capital that he has acquired, what he has from last year, this year, next year, the year after that. The list goes on, right? With how he's been able to accumulate talent on this team, develop this team, and make the right coaching hire, specifically with Mark Dagnall and how he's been able to implement this team in lineups in certain situations. I think it's by and far him. I do appreciate that I have to people who are actually saying, okay, somebody outside of Presti, because unbiasedly, I think Buford has done well. And I was ready to get his name. The Pistons GM has been fantastic for the past 2.5 years because of what he's able to develop with both Cade and Duran. So shout out for their mentions, but I think it's going to be Byron Thornton on St. Presti.
And I completely tried to duck and dodge that because I feel like OKC is going to already be fucking represented in this list or way too much. But it is
Fair.
what it is. Yeah, I mean, all three of them, I think, Head and Shoulders are going to have the option. Otherwise, I don't know who Orlando's exec is, but Orlando, if they can continue to turn in the right direction, he's going to have a shot at it if the Desmond Bane trade is the right answer. Also, it could be, honestly, and I'm going to bring it up because I don't give a shit, our favorite spoiler team. Whoever lands fucking Lauri Markkanen could win Executive of the Year during the actual season if they can bring him to a championship contender. Which, again, crazy enough, could be Sam Presti. Fucking unbelievable that they can have the assets to make that trade and still do everything correctly. Yeah. Swiftly on from that, moving into Coach of the Year. Unfortunately, this is where I hit the layup on the head. You said Sam Presti brought the man in. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to argue with the results. They have 2 losses so far, so I have it going to Dag now. I have as my second option on this one is JB Bickerstaff. I would love to see them just bypass Mark Daigneault regardless of how good the team finishes at the end of the year. OKC gonna OKC is kind of what we're at right now with this team. But if JB Bickerstaff can resurge these Pistons in the last year and this year into a team that not only should have beat the Celtics in their matchup last year, or should have beat the Knicks in their matchup last year, but as a team that can resurge to now be the top team in the East, if JB can keep them on the right track for that, I have to feel like he's a shoo-in for Coach of the Year.
Yeah, so I picked JB Bickerstaff. I already picked the Detroit Pistons exec, so going along with him, I think it's entirely fair to have Bickerstaff as the Coach of the Year. The Thunder do only have 2 losses, but the Pistons only have 5, so the Pistons are still on a very, very good trajectory. They did have one of those losses being to the Bulls, which I get is very tough to play against Chicago. It's always rough when you're going against them, but besides that, they do have those 5 losses. But yeah, their record's great. I think that also it's important to know that when you look at the Pistons versus the Thunder clearly have the better roster, clear cut, like front to back. It's much better than the Pistons is, and it's harder to coach a team that doesn't have that kind of core. And so while I 100% understand why the Thunder head coach wins, personally, I would pick Bickerstaff.
So like I said, I've said this off screen to my co-host. I did 3. So I had JB at 3. I had Dagnar at 2, and I actually had Mitch Johnson as the Coach of the Year. Because when he got implemented to San Antonio, Greg Popovich got sick, and no one really knew where San Antonio was going to be, and it was kind of just ride Greg Popovich's motion offense. Wemby was down, De'Aaron Fox got hurt, so he kind of gave Castle the minutes the second half of last year, and they were kind of mid. This year, with implementing his own system to operate off of Greg Popovich, the team has now resurged to what they were prior to 2020 with a new voice, with a guy that invigorates his whole team, with the amount of depth that they have. Castle has taken a playmaking jump because of what Mitch Johnson has proposed to him with Chris Paul last year. De'Aaron Fox is looking fantastic. Wemby's in MVP talks if he stays with his 65-game minimum. I think Mitch Johnson should be heavily considered because of a 1.5 year leap that this young Spurs team has taken. And again, I know I'm the Spurs fan, so people are gonna say, "Oh, you're biased." In watching what Mitch Johnson has specifically done, I'm moved by that. But I think all in all, unbiasedly, it's probably going to go to Dagnall. But I think Mitch Johnson should be heavily considered because Dagnall had the same kind of thing happen to him when he won Coach of the Year a couple years ago. Mitch Johnson's in that same situation, so that's why I picked Mitch.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think those are all three valid options for Coach of the Year. The other outspoken one is just not to mention is if the Celtics can continue. I mean, you gotta give it up to Ime for being able to put this team together and continue.
You mean Joe Mazzulla?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I literally just hiccuped. I literally didn't even say anything.
Yeah,
What did
you're
I
good.
do? What did it come out as?
You said Ime.
Yeah, no. Ime runs the team of the guy I'm about to talk about, so we're good. Yeah, no. Missoula, I mean, for him to have this team in the situation that they're in right now, without Tatum, with everyone harping that, oh my God, the Celtics are going to be a bottom 8 team, they're going to be a play-in, they're going to be a this, they're going to be a that. I don't know how many times I'm going to beat the dead horse until the cows come home, but yeah, the Celtics are just a really good team, and Jason Tatum is a factor, but we can get into this later talking about it, but Jason Tatum coming back to this team right now could arguably be the worst thing for the Celtics and could make this team derail faster than they already have ascended. I mean, fuck, this team is in 4th in one of the most competitive Easts we've seen in a long time, crazy enough. If everyone can say, oh, there's injuries, there's this, there's that, I mean, 1st and 7th are separated by 6 games. Like, this conference is completely up for grabs. So if Joe can keep this team on the right track and keep them in a fighting position, I mean, like I said, this is one of those years where everything is going to be competitive down to the wire, especially for this. I mean, seeding is going to be insane when we get to the last 10 games. I can promise you that. Moving into it, 6th man of the year. Looking at the odds, we all talked about Jaime and we talked about other people. I'm going to back the guy who would also probably be my most improved just from the younger aspect standpoint, not on the superstar name recognition. My 6th man of the year is going to go to Reed Shepherd. I think Reed Shepherd's in a situation to where he can only elevate his play going forward. He's playing with one of the greatest scorers of all time. He's playing with one of the better two-way big men in the league. And it's a team that's having an issue at their guard position. So if this man can step up, he could arguably be a 6th man. He could arguably get worked into a starting rotation. All of these things. I mean, Reed Shepherd's going to have to be a glue guy for this team, and I think that that's simply the reason that I had picked him here. I mean, he has all the potential in the world to be the difference maker. I believe he was like 4th in the voting when I looked at it last, or 4th in the betting odds. Like I said, I mean, Houston, we know what Houston is, and shout out KD because we know you're listening. Keep balling, brother. I mean, we know you're getting up there in age, Unk, but we need some more cross, tween, pulling his eye, and raise these Rockets higher than they need to be. So,
Gotcha.
Oh, my fault. Yeah. So
first
I
day
went
on
with
the new
Jaime.
legs.
Third
Jesus
co-host for a
Christ.
reason.
First day on the new legs.
No, so my thing was like frozen for a second, but yeah. So I went with Jaime Jaquez. I think that, so you already talked about Reed, and Reed I think I saw was 2nd in the odds that I was looking at. I think it's very fair for either of them. The reason why I went with Jaime Jaquez is there were a lot of odds makers actually that didn't even have him listed on their odds sheets before the start of the season.
That is correct.
He kind of just like roared into this position. He's averaging 15, 6, and 5. Very, very solid off the bench. And he's shooting 51% from the field, which is 28th in the league. When you're shooting top 28 as a 6th man, it's very solid. You want a guy coming off the bench that's super efficient. I think he's been extremely reliable, and for that reason, I went with Jaime.
I believe the betting odds actually had they actually had Peyton Pritchard to go back to back, and that was pretty impressive odds on that one. I mean, again, another one, Peyton Pritchard. He definitely isn't the answer in Boston. He's not the guy that's going to lead the movement, but he's definitely another one of those like glue pieces and role players that actually helps them to succeed. So don't be shocked if his name isn't mentioned back in those top two by the end of the year as well. So
Well, and I just want to say real quick, I also noticed that especially with six man, it's very very hard to win back to back.
yep.
It's like every year the NBA wants to give recognition to a new six man or maybe an older six man that just hasn't gotten the recognition before. So I think it is really hard to win back.
Unless your name is Lou Will.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fair. So my three, in third place, I had Nas Reed, a person that wasn't mentioned, and I said that he was going to win Sixth Man of the Year for my preseason stuff. Nas Reed up to this point has been rather inconsistent, but the past, I believe it was 7 or so games, he's been leading centers in 3-point total makes and percentage, in the minutes allotted to him. Because he creates an interesting dynamic for that Minnesota Timberwolves team, creating that getting to a defensively minded started lineup to an offensively minded backup unit. So he's able to get them in games. He has again, he's an elite 3-point shooter, and he is somewhat valued as one of these new era big men. So shout out to Nas Reed. Second, I had Reed Shepherd. Again, the reason why I didn't pick him is because I think he's going to start too many games because he spot starts with Alman Thompson. So it's tricky. So if he might get it, but the guy I ended up going with, who's definitively has been a six man up to this point, has been Jaime Jaquez. The 51% is also true, and I believe up to this point he's leading bench guys in total points and rebounds, and how Eric Spoelstra has been using him in this new dynamic offensive of pace and space and not a lot of P&R, a lot of ISO situations. Jaime Jaquez has been stepping up to the plate. Now, last week, I was talking about a lot about Kel'el Ware, how he should be getting minutes and how I think he should be more of the six man or even starting. So that's an honorable mention. But I as of right now, I think Jaime Jaquez is, if he sustains his play, I think he should definitely win this without a shadow of a doubt. Jaime Jaquez is the real deal.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. Again, this could just be me. I'm not sold on Miami this year. I mean, Jules brought up the reason I'm not sold on Miami. You're arguably leaving your most impactful player on the bench for way too fucking long, and that's a Spoelstra problem. That's there's got to be something going on behind the scenes that we don't know about. But Kel'el Ware is a needle mover, and Kel'el Ware needs the minutes to develop into a bigger needle mover. And I don't understand why they can't run a 2 big man formation to get this man at least 18 minutes a game, which is not hard to speak of, especially in this NBA. Especially when in this NBA, it's if you have the tools to do what you need to do, you're playing. And if you're a role player that plays the 3 to 4 minutes a game and that's all you're going to play, that's all you're going to play. And Kel'el Ware does not belong spotting in at 8 to 10 minutes a game, because Kel'el Ware, we've seen when healthy, when on the floor, is a 20 and 20 guy and can get it done for you. So for them to not use him and use him correctly and get him more minutes is only going to hurt them in the long run. I don't know if this is we're not going to show him, we're going to save him for you got to get to the playoffs, guys. Like, that's just the thing that's got to happen. So
Absolutely.
moving on, I'm going to defer to one of you two to go first for the Rookie of the Year conversation, because I have an interesting take on it.
I'll start really quick. So Rookie of the Year, my three. I think in third place is going to be Dylan Harper. Even though as a San Antonio fan, I've been seeing and watching Dylan Harper very closely. I just don't know if he's going to get the amount of votes because he missed time, and that's going to hurt him in the long run. Second to me is Con Knippel. There was specifically quotes that came out recently that saying that they're going to revolve that franchise around Nipple for the ongoing future because of what's happening with LaMelo Ball that we've discussed in the ongoing weeks, which I also called. So I'm pretty happy about that. Shout out to him. I think you can revolve your offense around him. He has the intangibles and everything. But I think by far and large, because he stamped himself back into Rookie of the Year conversations after that 42-point game, unfortunately in a loss, is Cooper Flagg. Cooper Flagg, I think somewhat underestimated as a first overall pick in a draft. I don't think I ever done that before.
It's not just
He
you.
has.
It's the community to a T.
I've never seen in summer league. I saw him be aggressive and not necessarily make the shots, but I saw the maturity of a young player to be able to take a franchise at the helm and move it into direction. Now, because of Dallas having a bad start,
and in summer league, I saw him get clamped by Bronny James Jr.
And cool, he dropped 42 on Lauri Markkanen. I don't care. He dropped 42 on Lauri. As a rookie, he's going to pass LeBron James as the most points scored before 19. He's turning 19 in a week and a half. Cooper Flagg is the real deal. He's going to win Rookie of the Year. The narrative is going to be Luka left the franchise. Now you're getting it to the new white boy in town, and that's Cooper Flagg. Cooper Flagg, you are the Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, so I have all the respect in the world for Cooper. However, I think that it's the wrong Duke teammate. I would give it to Con Knipple. I think that while Cooper has been extremely impressive, I think Con Knipple has been just a little better, especially given his circumstance. Their stats are basically very comparable. Like, there's not really a big difference in stats. Coop has a bit better efficiency, but that's because Con plays for the Hornets, so he has to do a lot more than Cooper does in order to get things working whatsoever. It's kind of been the same problem that LaMelo always had. But I think the biggest problem for me is that Con is shooting over 40% from three, extremely impressive, and Cooper is shooting 25%. The kid has no idea how to shoot threes yet, and that's just that's the biggest knock, and I would almost say only one of the only knocks on Coop's game. Already, he's very, very mature. He has like Jules said, he has a very, very good understanding of the game. Like you said, putting up 40 plus points and passing LeBron for most points scored before 19 is definitely no easy feat whatsoever. And I think that he is amazing, and I think he probably will win. But me personally, I think Con has been just a little better given his circumstance. And so me personally, I pick him. I think really it's just crazy that both of them were on the same team and they didn't win a natty, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the same boat as you, Retro. My front runner is Con, but I'm also gonna slide this in here, and I don't think anybody's really talking about him. His teammate, Ryan Kalkbrenner, is also another underrated, not really talked about guy in this conversation. He's averaging 9 and 7 right now. It's not super impressive, but you have to remember where he's playing, what he's doing, and he's also playing as a backup. Ryan Kalkbrenner, super underrated, coming out of Creighton and Trinity Catholic High School. So I can tell you from somebody who's seen Con play at the high school level and watched him play college, I've seen from the time this kid was 14 years old that he was the real deal. And it wasn't a issue of how, it was an issue of when. And the fact that he's coming in and outplaying the hype train that is Cooper Flagg. Cooper Flagg is going to be nasty in this league for years to come. That is something that we're all going to realize really quickly, whether you want to admit it or not. It's going to be a thing. Cooper Flagg has all of the talents, the size, the frame, the ability, everything that you need to succeed at this level. Do I think he'll be able to backpack a team? Absolutely not. I think he'll be a phenomenal number 2 to somebody going forward in his career. It just matters who that number 1's going to be. Con Knipple, though. Con Knipple is a guard that can take this league by storm. This is a kid who came from nothing, was leading high school teams when he was supposed to be the guy learning, and then goes to Kentucky, plays a perfect second fiddle to Cooper Flagg at Kentucky, again, playing behind the hype train of some kid from Maine that should have never made it, but made it. Kid's phenomenal. But Khan doing his thing and finally showing Charlotte a bright light and a potential chance at a future, which is crazy because they thought they had that in LaMelo, and when LaMelo's healthy and when he's moving, he can be a top 10 guard in the league. When he's going through his struggles and he's not playing well and he's iced out, he doesn't look like he deserves a contract. So for Khan to come into this mediocre offense, this mediocre city, this mediocre franchise, and actually get people talking about them is exciting for them to know that they have a rookie and potentially a future going forward. It's all on their executives on how you want to piece around him and how you want to do these things, because the Charlotte Hornets in the next 5 years could compete to play in a playoff as bad as they've been recently, as long as they make these right moves, and especially with the free agencies coming up in the next 3 years. There are potentials, especially when Charlotte has money to spend because they don't fucking pay anybody. This could be an interesting situation. So I
was going to say as well, because I wanted to real quick, because you brought up Kalkbrenner, and I think it's actually very, very important. Kalkbrenner, so this year, obviously, he's averaging, like you said, he's averaging 9 and 7, but he's doing it on 25 minutes of play. I think this kid could easily be a 15 and 15 guy if you have him 30, 35.
Mm-hmm.
And more than that, he's averaging 2.6 stocks per game. His rim protection is really, really good.
Yep.
And also, he shoots 80% from the field. Now, you can say it's because he's only taking shots from a few inches out, but that's fine. If you're dominant at the rim and you can, consistently, you're making every other shot that you're taking, yeah, that's fine. And 80% from the field is extremely impressive. The biggest thing for me is I think that he is extraordinarily efficient.
Mm-hmm.
And he is the definition of a paint beast. He will rim protect for you. He will score for you. He will rebound for you. If they start upping his minutes and give him 30, 35 a game, he's going to be absolutely amazing. Especially, he was the same way at Creighton. He was putting up 50 and 15 a game at Creighton.
And it like I said, I mean, I've heard people compare this dude, and this is such a disrespectful thing to say, is that he's great value Zach Edey, but he really is. He plays the same style game. The difference is he actually knows how to use his body and frame, and he knows how to position and get people out of the way. So if anything, I would take this tag off of him and say that Zach Edey should actually probably model his ability after Kalkbrenner, because Kalkbrenner's brain off ball as a center to be able to move and find the right spots and to be able to work himself into mismatches by screening away from the ball is phenomenal. So, like you said, if this kid can get more minutes, I mean, like you said, 25 a game. He's 25 a game, 79.8, so basically 80%, 75% free throw shooter, with the 2 blocks a game average. And he, for a big man, doesn't turn the ball over as a young, big rookie. He's averaging 1 turnover, which you can live with, especially out of a big man in this game. Yeah, I don't know if he's going to make enough noise to be in the conversation for long, but he is in this conversation now, and I think it's really hard for a big man to go out and win a Rookie of the Year, especially in such a quote-unquote forward and guard-dominant league, for a center to come out and actually have the impact to have his name brought up in these categories. Sky's the limit for this kid. So,
yeah.
I guess one honorable mention, because you were talking about Ryan Kalkbrenner. Shout out Derek Queen. I think Derek Queen should be in heavy considerations because he's another center. He's giving you a whole bunch of triple doubles on a bad Pelicans team without Zion.
You'd say
it's
that
just
again.
him and Trey Murphy. So shout out Derek Quinn.
And shout out Trey Murphy. Go Who's.
And shout out a bad Pelicans team. Yeah. Next up, Defensive Player of the Year. I feel like if we're not unanimous on this, there's a problem.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are we all?
But I have a if healthy, if not healthy situation here. Because we're trending to the point where, yes, Jules, Wemby is in the quote unquote best shape of his life. Wemby has put on this weight and done this and done that, but with the size and the frame and the way he plays, injuries are going to be expected, and injuries are going to continue to haunt this man. So As long as he can stay healthy and continue to do it, I think it's his award. If not, I said it, the reason I left the executive off the board is because they're going to get mentioned. I have Chet winning this, even though his teammate counterpart right now, Cason Wallace, is technically ahead in the voting. These two, between Chet and Cason, are another duo of guys that need to try to stay healthy, because when they are on the floor, their instant impact on defense for OKC, and who's to think OKC's defense couldn't get any better? These two fucking come out of nowhere. I mean, we got the briefness of Chet fucking doing this last year, but Cason Wallace is just the biggest fucking on-ball pest I've ever seen in the NBA.
And what's insane is you still have Caruso and Lou Dort that are both also amazing defenders. So like that whole thing.
It's just stupid. But yeah, I mean, Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, we have to acknowledge the alien, the demigod, the Frenchman, the Stifle Tower, whatever the fuck you want to call this dude. I mean,
and I think it's very important to make this distinction as well, because obviously Wemby's rim protection, everybody knows he holds insane gravity on defense. This is obvious, right? And people want to compare Chet and Wemby's rim protection, which it's asinine. But even if you wanted to do that, what makes Wemby stand out compared to Chet is his perimeter defense. Because one thing Wemby can do, given his insane height and length, is the guy can take 3 steps and he's from the paint onto the perimeter. You can see clips of it of Wemby literally just like stepping around and he's already there. And that's something that Chet just can't do. Wemby has the height and the length to be able to defend to do perimeter defense better than Chet can do by a country mile.
I literally just built a Chet Wemby fucking hybrid in 2K, and it's the funnest build I've ever fucking played with, and it's literally called the double-double threat, and it's the most fun thing I've ever played with, and it literally just has shades of these two, and it literally playing 2K, it feels like watching the Spurs play when Wemby's healthy. It's just the funniest thing ever. And like I said, these two literally are 2K players. They are a glitch in the Matrix. These two are phenomenal. The fact that they're both 7-footers that can let the motherfucker fly from 30 feet consistently, the fact that they can play great on-ball defense, the fact that they have insane paint presence. I mean, if these two can keep this up, are we going forward to see the type of defense that KG was putting out back in the day, where we have 2 elite big men that can guard people all the way down the floor and pressure at a high tempo? I mean, this could be... I mean, Wemby we already knew was going to be the downfall of the league. We just didn't know that it was going to be this fast. So,
and I think it's just before you go, Jules, it's just very important I think it's very important to make the clarification that while Chet is the unicorn and he is on planet Earth, there is one player in the NBA that is not on planet Earth.
He is not from here. He is not.
He is an alien. There is an alien and there is a unicorn. One is up here and one is here. Chet is great, amazing player. Wemby is these two are not in the same category. We need to make that distinction very clear.
Yeah, because I have to hear these conversations from OKC fans that Chet is better than Wemby because of this, that, and the other, and it's not true. As it's not, they're not in the same stratosphere. So thank you, Retro, for putting that on straight. Quickly, yes, there just has to be a caveat, because I do think the 65 game minimum for the awards is stupid. I think you should be able to vote for whoever you want, no matter how many games they have, because we had MVPs barely playing 55 games before in NBA history. So it's a stupid caveat. So when healthy, it's Wemby. I actually threw Rudy Gobert in there, even though I do think he's taken a step back. I do think that rim protection is still incredibly valuable. And I think he always deserves a mention with Depoy talks. I do think that voter fatigue is going to fuck him over. But I do think he has strong consideration. And everybody's favorite center, known top 7 center of all time, Bam Adebayo, should also get mentioned. Again, I know we had our little shit fest with Bam because of a certain culture for Heat. But I do think that Bam is valuable amongst the versatility when we talk about being able to switch onto guards and pressure them full court. Bam does that at an extremely high level.
Fuck that.
So I would say when healthy, I think it's Wemby's. It's not close. Two, I would actually, if he's not healthy, I would give it to Rudy, then Bam, and then Chet. Chet is a product of a defensive masterclass that he anchors, absolutely. But there's arguably just as valuable rim protectors on the same team, Isaiah Hartenstein being the name mentioned. So it's tricky, but I just don't think Chet should be specifically in the conversation when Isaiah Hartenstein is giving you same type of defensive value. Yes, he is a unicorn, but Hartenstein is actually playing more center minutes, and he is equal value defensively as Chet, which is where he plays mostly the 4. Hartenstein is mainly the 5. So that's my thing.
Yeah, I mean that makes perfect sense. Moving
Big
on.
boy.
Moving
Yeah.
on. MVP of the league. I've completely left a certain player just out of this conversation, which is insane to me. I have left a certain Denver Nuggets center just completely out of this conversation. I have a 3-headed race, and
Yes.
it's between Retro's favorite player of all time, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yes.
Luka Doncic for carrying a bum-ass Lakers team. Him and Austin Reeves, the white boys dragging this team around. And then
Sure.
I'm going to go on and I'm going to back my claim that I made when he got drafted. Cade Parker.
Okay. I like
Cade
it.
Parker Cunningham. If this Pistons team can continue and continue to roll, he's averaging 27, 6, and 9 right now. I want to be clear that this is a 3-headed race between these 3. Cade is the truth. I said from 2 years ago that it would take Cade 5 years to win a championship, or 5 years to become an MVP, not win a championship. Detroit is head and shoulders better than any team in the East. I don't care what anybody wants to try and tell me. They are head and shoulders better than them, and they're also younger than every other team, so they're only going to continue to get better. SGA, we know what the fuck this dude is. This man was not ever supposed to be like this. Somebody saw the prophecy and traded and got an absolute haul and a steal for bum-ass Paul George. Fuck, he's so good at his job. And turned him into this. Basically just a 6'7", 6'6" demigod point guard. 32, 5, and 6 out of him this year. And, I mean, Luka, need I say more by just bringing his name into the conversation? 35, 9, and 9. Like, I don't even know how to even touch that. People want to say right now, especially Lakers fans are trying to dodge and say, oh, well, Luka's on empty stats and this, that, and the other, and his team is ass, so he has to do it. Don't give a fuck. For you to be out there putting these numbers up, more power to you. This race is a 3-headed monster. I think that Shai's going to have the edge simply because his team is going to be in the position with the number 1 seed and blah, blah, blah. If the Pistons can keep the number 1 seed in the East going forward and finish it throughout the season, fuck Shai, I want it to be Cade.
Okay, so I'm glad that I'm back because we need to go back to reality, so I'm glad I can
Yeah,
be
so
here
you
to
can say
anchor
Josh
there.
Giddey's the MVP because you're delusional.
It is a 3-headed race. It is between number 1, Nikola Jokic, number 2, Luka Doncic, and number 3, Shai. It is a 3-headed race. Speaking of stats, goodness gracious, Lord help us all. Jokic is averaging a 30-point triple-double. His points average is 5th in the league. He's first in rebounds.
That's average.
He's first in rebounds, first in assists. Despite being a big man, by the way, he's first in assists. He's 8th in field goal percentage. He averages 2.2 stocks per game. He's averaging, as a big man, 43% from three, despite the fact that he is on good volume. Shout out SGA, I guess. He scores a lot of points. Good for him.
We're talking. You're talking about Nikola Jokic like this is something new. Like this is.
Yeah, this is the point. It isn't new, but it's the greatest season that we may have ever seen. Efficiency-wise, it is the greatest season we've ever seen. At the moment, Nikola Jokic is off to the greatest season that we have ever seen. This guy's efficiency is absurd.
Yep, it's the greatest season we've ever seen since last year when he did it.
No. Last year was not near as good as this year. He's averaging 84% from the free throw, which is also a career best. Jokic is literally just doing everything he did last year, but better. Somehow he continues to get better every single year. His team is off to a 19-6 start, despite being markedly worse than the Thunder and having to play in the same conference. As far as like SGA, his assists are 15th in the league. He's losing out by far to a big man in assists per game. Shout out to him. He can score, I guess. He has no rebounding ability. I get he's a guard, but it doesn't matter. Just adds on to Jokic's argument. So he can't assist as good as Jokic. He's not as good of a playmaker. He's not as good of a rebounder. He doesn't have to carry as hard because his team isn't as good. He doesn't have as high a field goal percentage compared to Jokic, who has a much higher field goal percentage. Jokic is literally just better in basically every statistical category except he averages 5 points less per game. Give me a break. This MVP should literally be the easiest hand me off to Jokic in the history of the league. Yeah, Nikola Jokic is the MVP this year.
So I just want to be clear here. So Nikola Jokic is the MVP this year.
Yes.
Just curious, who should have won MVP last year?
Last year I think it was a hard decision. I think there was
it wasn't. It was Nikola Jokic. Just to be clear, when Nikola Jokic won MVP the year before, just curious, who should have actually won MVP that year? That's right, Luka Doncic. So again, bias aside and knowing how the league works, we're just not going to even regard Nikola Jokic's stat line for the simple fact that this is a media-based award, and it doesn't fucking matter on how good you individually. No. Let me finish. It's a media-based award based off of how your team finishes on top of what you do. So if they finish, anywhere between, no, it is. It's an who is the MVP? That is the question.
The question is, who is your MVP? My answer is Jokic. The question is not who will the NBA arbitrarily give the MVP to that doesn't deserve it.
That is exactly the point of why we do this.
Question is,
we are picking award winners. We are not asking who the fuck you think is the MVP.
My award winner and everybody's award winner, which is what it should be, is Nikola Jokic.
There's a key word you just used right there. What it should be. But that is Jokic not how the NBA works.
Jokic right now is second in MVP odds, barely behind SGA. Jokic will probably overtake him depending on what happens. Depending on what happens for the rest of the regular season, and he should, because while SGA is great as a points merchant, he doesn't have the playmaking to back it. He definitely can't rebound because again he's a guard. So I mean Jokic is doing that better too. He doesn't have the field goal percentage. He doesn't have the 3-point percentage. Jokic just does everything he does but better, except score, which is like 5-point gap. Like it's just not even.
Let me know when it's my turn, so I can destroy this shit.
I just don't get it though. It's like you just said it key. You just said a key in point. You validated my entire argument. You said what it should be. We're not here giving our MVPs. We're out here giving who the award is going to. That's how this works. That is what we are doing in this situation, which is why I'm completely disregarding Nikola Jokic for when his team lets him down and they finish 4th or 5th in this conference, and then MVPs don't go to teams that finished 4th or 5th in their conference.
Let's say I grant this. Who would your MVP be?
Who would my MVP be?
Yes.
Cade Cunningham.
Okay, well, all right, but
because without Cade Cunningham, this Pistons team is certified dog shit.
Okay, and then without Jokic, this Nuggets team is also
bad. No. All right, my turn. Not my turn. So yes, everything Retro just said to you is a complete bullshit lie. The OKC Thunder, while their team is great, let me know when the OKC Thunder have the most efficient 50-point game player on their team in Aaron Gordon, followed by another 50-point per game scorer in Jamal Murray. Jokic is not backpacking this team. He has more help. His on-off numbers, the bench is a +2 compared to a minus whatever it was last year. That is a false narrative. That is not the case this year.
Can you tell me what
Comparatively to them last year, the Denver Nuggets are second in net rating because of this whole two. Aaron Gordon had the most efficient 50-point game in NBA history. When did AJ Mitchell do that? When did Lou Dort do that? When did Jalen Williams do that? When did Chet do that?
No, that's great. I don't care about one game.
What's the help? What's the help that SGA has? It doesn't matter what he's averaging. It doesn't matter what he's averaging. No, because that is the reality of his help having more offensive help, being the second most net rated team in the league.
Yeah, and you
in
can
the league, that is not. And that is a collective team effort, and the Nuggets are second because of their team.
Do you think they'd be the same without Jokic on the court?
Absolutely, because their bench is a +2 when he's off the floor.
Yes, but even when he's off the floor,
that's a net positive.
And that's
compared
fine.
to everybody is a net negative.
Which is fine, even when he's off the floor.
That's not fine. That is not fine because that implies help. That implies help.
If Jokic wasn't on the team, then that bench would not be doing well.
They're still a playoff team. They're still a playoff team. Cool. And SG and hold on.
They probably finished 2 spots below where they would finish with Jokic on the team.
Exactly. And this is the other thing too, because you're such a MJ fucking cocksucker. And SGA is 50-40, damn near 90, going on his 4th season of averaging 30. You know the other person to fucking do that? Michael Jeffrey Jordan. And guess what? SGA is going to lead a 70-plus win team.
Awesome. I'm glad
did that.
I'm glad that SGA can score. Tell me when he learns to play make on the level of the 7-footer.
His playmaking has taken a significant gap. His playmaking metrics is 3rd in the league behind Jokic and Cade Cunningham.
Wait, behind who?
His defense behind Cade Cunningham and Jokic.
And Jokic, yes, because Jokic is a better playmaker.
Cool. Absolutely. That's why we're not PRA merchants. We are done with that. We are done with that.
Retro, by your logic, ask me the question you asked me again. Ask me who my MVP is.
Yeah, who's your MVP?
Oh, it's Devin Booker because the Suns are the 7 seed and they're 14-12 behind his 25, 5-7. And the Suns would be worse than literally every other team in the NBA if Devin Booker wasn't on the floor.
No, that's not even good logic. You could do this with any team.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. You could do it with any player in the entire NBA. That's not the
So why would you use it for Jokic and not do it for SGA and Cade? No, because it's not fair logic. It's a hypothetical, and I'm not going to sit here and give you the hypothetical that you want. I'm not going to confirm your confirmation bias. That's stupid.
What you did was you did it first. The only thing that I used for Jokic was I used his stats, which all back the argument, no question.
We're not PRA merchants.
What you did is you decided to start throwing in help. I didn't bring up the help argument. I don't care about the help argument. Jokic's stats stand for without help.
The help argument is relevant to an MVP.
To be clear, it is not just PRA. It's efficiency. It's field goal percentage.
And SGA's 50-40-85.
Which is great
on similar volume.
Okay, so and Jokic is 61-43
because he takes his shots majority the most efficient shot in NBA history is a Jokic post-up shot this year by far and large.
43 from 3.
And so SGA is shooting 41.
Sure,
so what?
He's a 7-footer and Shea's a guard.
Which arguably makes it easier for Jokic to get the 3 off because he's a 7-footer shooting the ball from 8.5 feet.
Exactly. So for real, 7-footers have never shot at this level of efficiency from a 3 ever. It hasn't happened.
KD.
Oh no! KD's official height is highly debated. B, Nikola Jokic is not the same build.
Oh,
whatsoever.
Sorry. If KD's billed at 7 feet, but he's actually 6'11". Oh no.
Well, so is Kevin Durant a center? Is that what Kevin Durant does?
Doesn't matter. You just said a 7-footer.
So what do you think I meant by that? That's a very bad
That's like, okay,
interpretation.
let's apply logic there. Let's apply then, the second half of Serge Ibaka's career when he learned how to shoot threes. Serge Ibaka was a 7-footer shooting at like a 39.5% clip or something like that.
Right.
So he was
Jokic
at
is shooting 43% clip.
Right. So
this is
3.5% matters that much when you're already shooting above the league average. That's crazy.
This is the difference. Shea is having an MVP season. You could even say Cade is having an MVP season. Jokic is having the greatest season of all time. That is the difference between the two. These are not
and
the
we
same
thought
thing.
thought that last year too when he was having the greatest season in NBA history of all time,
Yes,
and he still lost the MVP.
He somehow continues to top himself and how good he can be every single year.
Right, so he can continue to top himself and still lose an MVP, which is what I'm trying to get across to you.
But the whole point is that the arguments with these other people, they don't hold water. If you want to say the media is going to give him the award, say that. That's fine. But if you want to actually argue that anyone else deserves the MVP, the argument is not there. He clearly far and away deserves it.
No, because again, that goes back to the help, because that becomes to valuability of your team. You have a better argument last year when that Denver Nuggets team had no bench. Now that they have a bench in comparable places and they're beating teams barely, even when they're injured, this is why Jokic is not as valuable as SGA. Let me know when Jokic goes and gets 70-plus wins on pace to, because SGA is being the head of that.
So, to be clear, you think that Jokic's team is more helpful on defense than SGA's?
They're both top 5 defenses. What are you talking about?
And you think SGA's defense isn't better? You think the Thunder will have a better team?
It's pretty comparable.
It's pretty comparable.
It doesn't matter if it's comparable.
In a vacuum, it's actually pretty close to the same.
Who is the better coach?
The better coach? Are you joking? Are you going to use?
Now a coach matters about the MVP.
Oh my God, that's disgusting. That's disgusting.
I'm sorry.
That's disgusting.
Coach and team don't matter. We are tripping.
Objection, Your Honor. Objection, Your Honor.
Oh my God.
Objection, Your Honor. He's leading the witness. Objection, Your Honor. He's leading the witness. I
don't have the OKC Thunder winning this year. I have the Nuggets. I think SGA should be MVP.
Mm-hmm.
This is my rationale. This is the fact of the matter is that doesn't matter who you put around this team, defensively, offensively, their net rating is through the roof. Jokic's net rating with his team is right there with him, meaning that his team is comparable. That is valuability. If you take SGA off, there's still a plus. Same thing with Jokic. This argument specifically would apply into Justin's argument about Cade Cunningham being the most valuable.
I don't disagree. So here's the argument. If they both have comparable teams and they both have comparable everything, what do we go to? We go to stats. And when it comes to stats, Jokic blows him out of the water. It's not
good thing the NBA value ceiling raising more than floor raising, because that's why SGA got it last year, and he's going to do it this year.
So that's great. And if you want to argue the NBA is going to give it to him because of a narrative, then fine. But as far as the actual argument and the merits of the argument, Jokic is
And mind you, you're going to get me with this shit. You're talking about stats. SGA is doing this shit in 3 fucking quarters. That is more valuable because he would be giving you almost the same exact stuff in 4. He has played 12. He has missed 12. Count them. 12 fourth quarters.
And you think that Shea's efficiency, you think that Shea's 3-point percentage on volume, you think all of that would be similar to Jokic?
Can I just say something? Because Jules actually just brings up a very good point here. Yeah, so if we're talking about it, is Jokic needs every second of every aspect to get these stats, every second of the game that he's in. So it's kind of sounding like a Russell Westbrook situation where he needs the garbage time to also maintain these stats.
Well, wait, how many minutes does Shea average per game?
Like 32.
32, but he doesn't.
I'm pretty sure.
So if Shea averages 32 and Jokic averages 35, which is 2 minutes less than he averaged last year.
Wait, let me double check.
I mean, here's the thing. If we go off of Jules' logic, though, that would put Jokic in third for me, because then you also have SGA and Luka, who both don't play fourth quarters.
Okay, no, so I got it. So Shea averages 33.2. Great. So Shea has 1.8 more minutes than Jokic. Or less than Jokic. I'm sure that's really hurting his stats. I'm sure those 1.8 minutes are killing him.
He would be averaging the same amount, if not more, if Jokic doesn't foul out of fucking games and he played 12 more fourth quarters. 12.
So,
There's
again,
been literally half of them.
You can take all of your quarters, and with minutes per game, he is still only 1.8 minutes less, which shows the quarters aren't mattering.
Dog.
Minutes are there. That's what it's showing.
Even if you go by per 75s, SGA's valuability clears.
And per 75s is hypothetical. I don't like per 75s. I want to know what is going on in each game, and that's
not a hypothetical. That's how you deal with lineup to lineup for your starting five compared to another person's starting five. That's how per 75s work, because per 75 is what you usually get per possession with your starting five compared to another person's starting five. That's why SGA is more valuable, because if his per 75s are going to be compacted to somebody else's and he's not even playing a full fourth quarter, that kind of proves that you can do more in less time.
You continue the fourth quarter argument, it hasn't mattered because he's only averaging 1.8 minutes less, which means he can miss all the fourth quarters he wants. He is still only averaging 1.8 minutes less than Jokic, which means with the fourth quarters not included, like with all of that being said, Jokic is still only playing 1.8 minutes more than him per game. It shows that their time played is very, very similar, and Jokic continues
that goes back to, and that because of Denver having a better bench. They have Jonas Valanciunas now. That proves my point of health.
And the Thunder also have we agree, they both have loaded teams.
Great. Wait. So who's backing up Shea that is comparable to Jonas Valanciunas?
You can even make that.
Wait.
Hold on. Even if you want to say that their team is better, you would agree they're comparable. That's all I need for this argument.
No, because when Jonas is on the floor, there's still a +4, while AJ Mitchell is on there, they're a +2.5. That is not right. You are wrong, Retro. SGA is the most valuable person. Let's move on.
Absolutely not. But
I guess winning games doesn't matter. I guess you can win 20 games. You're the most valuable person if you're a PRA merchant. That's why this is stupid. Mind you, in NBA history, there's been 6 people to get averaging triple-double. There's only been 1 to win the award. And he didn't even fucking deserve it. So that's why PRA does not fucking matter.
Well, it's a good thing I'm not just using PRA. I'm using efficiency, field goal, 3-point. But regardless, I can even go outside of that. You're talking about wins all the time.
Yes, go by defensive win shares and tell me that he's the best defender in the league. Please do it. Please do it. I would love to hear this.
So we're talking about wins, to be clear, right?
Yes, wins.
So the Nuggets aren't winning right now. Is that what you're saying? The Nuggets just aren't winning?
They barely beat the Houston Rockets.
What's their record?
They're 19-7.
Okay, cool. So to be clear, 19-6. So to be clear, they have 4 more losses than the Thunder do. So there's not like this big difference. The Thunder are second in the West. Or not the second.
Are you comparing a team that's going to break the wins record and set yet another margin to this Denver Nuggets team?
We can't say they're going to break the wins record. It's been 26 games.
Dude, they're on pace to obliterate it. Are you kidding?
And Deebo Samuel was on pace to obliterate 1,000 yards. Things happen over the course of a whole season. I know what's going on with that team. You can't make that.
My God.
It's been 26 games, brother. We've been through a third of the season.
Holy fuck.
Injuries can happen. Other teams can get better. They can play bad on a few nights. A lot of things can happen. That's how the NBA
works. Jokic have an opportunity that opens up where he could be a jockey and he could just retire. Yeah, there's plenty of things that could just happen, right?
Wait, so you think injuries just don't happen in the NBA? Teams just don't play bad on some nights? Like, this never happened?
And OKC has been equally as injured as Denver, and they still have better record, better net rating.
So what you just said is injuries do happen, and teams do play bad on those nights. But do you know what the front runner team that's 24-2 does when those happen?
They continue to do well typically.
Correct. They fill the hole.
What was their roster, or not with the roster? What was their record last year?
68 wins.
Right. So
and they're going to break that?
Maybe. Again,
do you know what their record was last year? You know what their record was last year, Retro?
Jules, you are trying
One
to make a
MVP,
definitive
one
claim.
NBA championship. That's what their record
Jules,
was
you are
last
trying
year.
to make a definitive claim that they are going to break the win record when we are 1/3 of the way through an NBA season.
Dog, how do you really think that they're not going to break the pace of what they were just doing last year? So even if they have 4 more wins, they're on. This is why they're having conversations about this year's Thunder team with 2017 and 2016 Warriors,
Sure.
who set the win record and had the
And
talent.
to be clear, I am fine with those conversations, but when you try to make it sound insane that I say, let's pump the brakes, we've played 1/3 of the season, it is not a definitive they're going to break the record. That is not an insane take. That isn't completely fair. We have no idea what's going to happen for the rest of this season. God forbid there could be an awful injury towards one of their best players that takes them out for the year.
Jalen Williams didn't play half the year already, and they were winning without him. He's the second option.
What happens if Shea gets hurt? There's a possibility anything could happen. That's why I'm
no. This is why you're a Shea hater, and you'll forever be a Shea hater.
What are you saying?
Because you're a Shea hater because you don't like how he plays. You don't like how he has the best team ever. You don't like how his team was constructed. Are the Denver Nuggets being considered as a top 5 team this year? No, the OKC Thunder of this year are.
Jules,
definitive conversation.
Know if he has the best team ever. We can talk after 82 games have been played
Dog.
The
last year's Thunder team are a definitive top 10 team of all time.
Okay.
They're one-upping what they did last year.
Hold on. Retro, you just said we could talk after 82 games and da-da-da-da-da.
Yes.
I just want to be clear. The year that the Golden State Warriors broke the 72-10 with their 73-9, their immaculate season. Do you know when that team was called the greatest team ever assembled? Do you know when that happened?
I don't really typically I don't care.
Oh well,
it
was actually called 3 nights before they lost their first game to the Milwaukee Bucks when they were 23-0, 22-0.
And that is fine. And that is fine, and people can do that. I am going to wait until the season ends.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever heard?
You should just stop playing the wait and see game because it really never works out in your favor.
Assuming makes an ass out of you and me. I am going to wait instead of making.
That's like me saying I assume the Bulls suck when I watch them play and know they suck.
What I am going to wait for is for their future, for ongoing years. That is fair to say. We already have a sample size of what they are doing without their second best player, without the quote unquote defensive player of the year favorite, without Isaiah Hartenstein. This is where you can make definitive aspirations of what this OKC team can do, because it is already arguable that they are one of the best teams ever and one of the best defenses ever.
So it is impossible to make a definitive claim when something hasn't happened. That's the definition of a definitive claim. What you are doing...
It's called pacing. Pacing.
Pacing is great. Debo was on pace for 1,000 yards. Pacing is great. I am waiting to see what happens. Then you can make a definitive claim.
No.
I don't go off of pacing. I go off of waiting until something happens.
Then you must have the fact that you're a Michael Jordan glazer and they were saying this kind of shit through their 72-10 season during this time, and you're telling me now we have to wait for OKC. They were saying that with Michael Jeffrey Jordan. So your consistency argument is bullshit.
And if I was there then, I would have said I'm going to wait until the end of the year before I start making claims about this team being the greatest team to ever play. You have to wait. Have to wait.
All right. Well, moving swiftly on. We're done with the MVP conversation. Let's be the first people to talk about this on an actual podcast that'll be recorded out. Let's talk about this NBA Cup, and we'll talk about how the Spurs just had a generational fourth quarter choke job. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Knicks for winning the NBA Cup. They had 7 players in double-digit figures. Unbelievable game. OG and Brunson, heavy carry job here. Looking at just, again, box score watching it. OG 28, 9 and 3. Brunson 25, 4 and 8. A little double-double from Cat. Yeah, Spurs, dude. I mean, Jules, I don't know what this breakdown is here. I mean, Wemby was supposed to come back after his highly touted interview and be the best player on the floor, but his minus 18 is showing that he just wasn't. I mean, he wasn't even the best player on his side of the floor. I mean, shout
I
out
mean,
shout
to
out
be fair,
Stephon Castle for almost having the triple double in arguably the biggest game of his career so far.
to be
15, 7, and 12.
to be fair to Wemby, he didn't even start tonight though. Luke Cornett started. Wemby was coming off the bench.
He came off the bench.
Yeah, you got to give him a couple games to get back into it.
Yeah, 25 minutes. Got to give him the swing to get back into it. Yeah. Don't care. He played 25 minutes. He actually played more minutes than Luke Cornett did, so that's fine.
A bunch of the Knicks players, because they won, they won like 500K or something. What's the amount?
I
500K.
believe it breaks down to that. Yeah.
Good for them.
Knicks fans. Please drink your own Kool-Aid. It'll be so much better for your downfall for the end of the year. Please drink your own Kool-Aid, because this is your championship. You guys should be celebrating like Pat Bev did when they won that one fucking game.
The play-in game?
Yes. Yeah, that was your NBA championship. That is the only title you will hoist this year. You are in second place in the East, but the team above you and the two teams below you are a better team than you are. I don't know how the Knicks have such a high power ranking on a lot of these things, because I cannot wait for the playoffs to roll around for Jalen Brunson to actually get mismatch hunted when people actually take advantage of him. Yeah. Raptors, Celtics, Pistons are all better than you in the East. That's just a given. Congratulations to you. You get to win something. I know it's been a long time since you guys have actually won something, anything. The last thing you won was a trade to get Carmelo Anthony, and that was pretty impressive for you guys. Great for you. Blah, blah, blah. Don't care. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about on the basketball side of things before we move on?
I think I'm good.
With the Knicks winning again, shout out to you guys. You beat us with a fourth quarter choke job. No one could hit a fucking shot. OG was actually playing some really good defense.
The fact that you guys were outscored 35-19 in the fourth quarter is insane.
Yeah, there was a decisively what Dylan Harper had to do. Shout out to Dylan Harper. Shot well from three, had his best career 3-point game to his young career, because he's not the greatest 3-point shooter. And kind of had to carry off the bench, because it looked like De'Aaron Fox got a little timid in the second half.
A little.
Brunson, again, to double down on that, yes, you had 28 points. You were 11 of 27. Yeah, that is kind of disgusting. So
there.
I would like to also actually, before we go, I would actually like to also state for the record, I am only a hater of two players, Mahomes and LeBron. I am not a hater of anybody else.
That is just horseshit you just spewed out of your mouth.
It is true. I'm only a hater of two players. Shea, I do not hate. I hate the conversation around him. It's not him specifically. I don't even buy into the whole foul baiting thing. I don't think Shea needs to foul bait. I think he's just good at it. James Harden did the same thing. Michael Jordan did the same thing. I don't really have a problem with that. That's not my issue. My issue is the conversation around him. And while I am rooting for any other team to beat the Thunder, it's not because it's not because of Shea. It's because of the fact that I'm scared the Thunder are about to become the Dodgers, and they're about to just start winning championship after championship.
You just outed yourself, bro.
But here's the thing. You can't say that they're about to become the Dodgers, because the Dodgers pay their way there. They built this team.
Well, yeah. No, I mean, and all the credit to Sam Presti. He's a genius, but it's just that I'm worried that the NBA is just going to become a league that the Thunder just dominate for the next few years, and that's just going to be.
Yeah, I mean, since we went over our way too early predictions, Jules already said the Nuggets. Retro, I'm assuming you're on the Nuggets for winning the championship.
No.
Really?
No, I'm on the Thunder. Yeah.
Huh, me too. I think it's
Yeah.
I think it's time for the back-to-back champion. I really do.
And then the back-to-back-to-back champion and the back-to-back-to-back.
Nope,
champion.
I don't think it's going to be that much. I think
it'll be at least 3. My guess is they do it 3.
I think free agency this year shakes the boat after this season.
Well, and I don't disagree, but the problem is because their draft picks are so high, like, and they have the Jazz's pick, and they have another pick too. I think that's pretty high.
The Clippers.
Yeah,
the Clippers.
Yeah,
And the Clippers is
Devonta's going to look really good in the Thunder uniform next year.
And that's the thing. If they get Devonta, who's going to stop that team? What's even the plan? I just
there isn't one. Welcome to the dynasty.
Yeah, that's the way I feel about it.
All right. Well, basketball talk over. You two have already argued enough. This should be fun for me this week.
Okay.
My side quest games of the week. I have a King of the Hill and 2 Pick 3 Cut 5s. The King of the Hill one is actually pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie. I'm intrigued by it. It's best of high schools to produce NBA players.
Oh.
First one.
Okay.
So your first matchup to start this off is starting with Chino Hills.
Okay.
Which, for you guys that don't know, is not just the Ball brothers, it's also Onyeka Okongwu.
I did not know that. I don't know much about high school.
This one I have to look up just to make sure I get the players correct on this one, because I've never heard of this place, but apparently they've produced a lot of NBA talent.
Is it St. Vincent St. Mary's by any chance?
No, I'm not bringing up one school wonders.
You know what? To be fair, I'd still give it to him over Chino. Like,
that's great. That's great. And then you would also have to throw Jordan's high school in just because of Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Anyway, no, it's called Hargrave Military Academy. NBA standouts: David West, Jordan Crawford, Mike Scott, Maurice Spates, Montrezl Harrell, Terry Rozier, and Josh Howard.
I mean,
along with. So let me give you the accolades on this one. So it's they have David West with the 2 times NBA champion, Maurice Spates NBA champion, Trez Harrell NBA champion. And then there's a couple guys down here that I've never heard of. James White also attended this school. Lonnie Baxter also attended this school. Corleone Young. So like,
how about James White, the Patriots running back, or NBA player?
NBA player.
Okay.
So, yeah. That's your first one, is those 2. Who do you have?
Well, I guess this is like a good test of quality over quantity, Jules. Do you want to go like quantity or do you want to go quality?
I would probably still lean Chino Hills because the talent is there with the military academy, but I would. The most notable guy is David West. Shout out David West.
So just to be clear, then we're going quality over quantity. Okay, then I'm good with that.
That's great. So this is if you guys have been around, or if you've been living under a rock, you don't know anything about this this crazy debate that's been going on since I was in fucking elementary school.
Yep.
Next up is Chino Hills versus Montverde.
It's Montverde. It's Montverde.
Montverde. Hands down.
Now, I want to be clear. I think that Chino Hills could have beaten them.
Absolutely fucking not. No shot. Good try.
I'll say this. I think Montverde is clearly the better talent, like, school. Absolutely. And they've produced, like, players that are great, for sure. But I think that if you take the best Montverde team and put them against Chino, I think it would be a close game.
I don't. I think Cade's team absolutely runs the Ball brothers out of the gym. Anyway.
I don't know, dude. The Chino Hills Ball brothers were electric.
Don't give a shit. Next is Montverde versus IMG Academy.
Oh, man.
Montverde.
Yeah, I will. What is IMG's like best products?
I can give
fucking everybody.
I can give you that.
See, that's what I'm interested in, because IMG is relatively a recent thing.
IMG is actually nasty, and it's more on the recency bias, so it's a future thing.
Yeah.
Anthony Simons, Josh Green, Jonathan Isaac, Mark Williams, Kenyon Martin Jr., Zach Edey, Keontae George, Jet Howard, Jarris Walker, and Jaden Springer.
Okay, yeah. As of right now, I'm cool with Montverde.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. It's like a future thing.
All right. Next up, I just want to make sure I have everybody from this one before we go crazy. And no, I didn't just put this one in here because I like the kid. Next is Sierra Canyon.
Ooh.
Mount Berg.
No, it's so.
Sierra Canyon is not just Bronny James. It's Marvin Bagley III, Amari Bailey, Brandon Boston Jr., Dwayne Washington, Cassius Stanley, and Scottie Pippen Jr.
I mean, lots of talent, but yeah, it's Montverde.
Mount Berg.
And I'll tell you right now, we will no longer do this podcast if this team doesn't dethrone Montverde. It's the greatest high school basketball program in the history of the United States, and it's Oak Hill.
Tell me some of the products there.
Oh, nothing like, I believe
What?
Kevin Durant, Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah, you're good.
Let me give you the whole rundown. Kevin Durant, Carmelo Anthony, Jerry Stackhouse, Rajon Rondo, Josh Smith, Cole Anthony, with over 40 alumni drafted into the league under Coach Steve Smith.
Okay.
I know about KD, but I didn't know about a lot of the other guys.
Ben McLemore, Ron Mercer. Yeah, we can. I mean, this list. I mean,
yeah, Ben McLemore. Oh no, we're taking Mount Vernon. Ben McLemore is a fucking fraud.
Yeah.
Actually, wait, hold on. Did you say 40 alumni have been to the NBA?
40 alumni have played in the NBA. The greatest high school basketball program of all time.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. That's fair.
So yeah, King of the Hill winner, Oak Hill.
That is a fun one actually. I like that one. That was good.
Okay, bro.
All right, pick 3, cut 5. So this one's a little bit different than we've normally done. This one I actually enjoy a shit ton. It's crazy or outlandish NBA moments.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Okay.
So the first one takes us back to 2007, and it's the Tim Donnelly gambling scandal.
Okay.
The fucking cut.
Yeah, probably.
Because of bias.
Because of bias.
Well, I'm just like I'm trying to think of like Malice in the Palace is like an automatic keep. There's like a few that are
That's
like
crazy.
crazy.
Number 2, Malice at the Palace.
Yeah, that's a keep.
Yeah, it's a keep.
Are you sure? All right. Number 3, Ray Allen. Bosch back out to Allen. His 3, bang. Game 6, 2013.
Cut. On bias. Cut. Save LeBron's legacy. LeBron's bomb. Cut.
Yeah, but the other shot is going to be here.
No, Justin wouldn't do that to me. Justin's a kind soul that would not do that to me.
I think the other shot is better, so there's a cut, but that's a disgusting, no.
We're waiting for the Michael Jordan Game 6 shot is what we're waiting for.
Oh, the push-off that shouldn't have been an offensive foul?
It wasn't a push-off.
It was legal separation at the time.
Yep.
All right. The Kyrie dagger, Game 7, 2016.
Oh my, okay.
Yes, that's a keep. It's a keep.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's a keep.
I put them back to back for a reason.
I would like to be clear to all the Kyrie Glazers out there. Congratulations for your one moment in your guys' entire career. Congrats. This is so cringe.
Well, you guys have one keep left with four moments to hear. Sad one, insane moment. 2019, the KD Achilles tear.
Oh yeah, that sucks, but that's probably a cut.
That's a cut.
Okay.
Yeah. Shout out KD though.
I'll set the scene. It was 1989. Jordan driving left, makes a move, pulls up.
Bang!
The Craig Elo shot is fucking overrated for cutting it. Craig Elo. No one gives a fuck about Craig Elo.
Okay, you're right. No one cares about Craig Elo.
All right, we're cutting this. All right.
Fine.
Now, you've already kept a moment from this game, but this moment was arguably bigger. Game 7, 2016. Iguodala on the fast break. LeBron James block from behind. Blocked by James.
Oh, man. Yeah, I've listened, the Jordan shot's cool, but I think blocked by James actually might be the single greatest moment in NBA history.
Say that again for the Lapuki Ramon James. Say that again, please, Retro.
I think blocked by James is the single most iconic moment in NBA history.
All right.
And I hope we cut the fucking push off, please.
I would like to be clear. You can never say that I let my bias take over. Okay, I love Jordan way more than LeBron.
All right. Well, you cut the gambling scandal. You cut Ray Allen's 3. You cut KD's Achilles just like he did. You cut MJ.
That's crazy.
You cut MJ's shot. And you kept Malice at the Palace, kept the Kyrie dagger, kept LeBron's block to cut Tracy McGrady's 13 and 33 and 04.
Yeah, it's cool.
Oh yeah, I would have cut that fucking anyways, cause like, fuck Tracy McGrady.
Why do you not like Tracy McGrady?
Who was that 13 on, Retro?
Who was that 13? I don't even know.
It was on us.
Oh. I'm sorry, Jules.
All right, this one is a lot of fun. This next one is a lot of fun. It's all-time NBA glue guys.
Okay, you're doing a great job here, Justin. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
All right, why zip it up, Retro? Zip it
I'm
up.
just saying.
I'm sorry, Jules. I do recall you taking these two things earlier and making a crazy motion to the camera. So,
oh my god.
Wait, so am I to assume Robert Horry is like an automatic keep?
All right, so the first one up is Knicks Pablo Pregoni.
Oh,
I actually know who that guy. I actually know who he is because I played with him in an early 2K. That's a cut though.
All right. Next up is Nikola Pekovic.
Shout out to the drug lord himself.
I that is.
I would cut that too. He had a good year run.
You see the drug lord? What is the why?
No.
Wait, why?
No. Next up.
What?
Next up is Ryan Anderson.
Oh, Ryan. I do know Ryan Anderson. He's
What?
pretty okay.
Jules.
I would cut him, but he's pretty okay.
Oh, is he a fucking glue guy? What?
Go back to the Pelicans days.
When he was hurt still? Come on, dog. All right, bro.
Do we have Brian Scalabrine on here by any chance? Because I think
the next glue guy up is Sean Marion.
Oh,
that's a good glue guy.
I would keep.
I'd keep him.
Keep Sean Marion. Next,
he has the most broken free throw.
Next up is Jeff Teague.
Oh, he was really good too. But how many keeps and cuts do we have left?
You have 2 keeps, 2 cuts.
Oh, okay. We can, Jules. We can probably cut, right? I assume.
Yeah, I'd cut it.
All right. Next is Nick Batum.
I would keep Nick Batum. I think he deserves that. I think he deserves that. And we kind of have to. We can't use our other cut.
These are such weird glue guys. What the fuck, Justin?
You went for the most outlandish names possible.
No, I went for glue guys. 100% glue guys.
Nick Batum.
I would not classify half these guys as glue guys.
Actually,
sure,
just so we're clear, the bottom. Well, actually, all 8 of these are in the top 10 for glue guys of all time.
Do you have Matt Bonner on here?
Nope. So, what are we doing with Nick Batum?
We're keeping.
All right. 1 cut, 1 keep left. Next up, Chandler Parsons.
I would cut.
Yeah.
Jules
is not what I classify as a glue guy. These are not what I classify as a glue guy whatsoever.
They're 100% glue guys.
Ryan Scalabrine.
No.
Here, please.
So you cut Pablo, you cut Nikola, you cut Ryan, you cut Jeff Teague, you cut Chandler Parsons. You keep Sean Marion, Nick Batum, and Serge Ibaka.
Oh, I'll take that. I think we did. I think we did pretty good on
What?
What do you mean, Jules? Just because your definition of a glue guy isn't averaging 25, 5, and 5?
Wait, Draymond Green is a glue guy. He's the greatest glue guy of all time.
Draymond Green's a star, not a glue guy.
He is not a star. He is a glue guy.
He's a star.
Okay, you can be a star. Dennis Rodman, Bill Laimbeer, Charles Oakley. Those are glue guys.
Nope, those are stars.
Did you just call Bill Laimbeer a star?
Was he not?
What's your favorite Bill Laimbeer moment if he's a star?
Clotheslining Michael Jordan.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay, bro.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Okay, bro. What you mean on every other play?
On every other play.
No.
They were,
I'm with it.
to be fair, they are stars compared to, like I said, a glue guy isn't
A lot of these guys, yeah.
These are all glue guys. A star is a guy who's a big impact breaker. A glue guy is a guy who just keeps everything together.
I classify Draymond as that.
And you can classify Draymond as that. Then I will also, if you're gonna put Draymond in that category, I'm gonna put Embiid in that category.
I classify Draymond as the dirtiest player to ever play basketball. That's what I classify.
It's a weird way to say Zaza Pachulia. Anyway,
that's a weird way to say Zaza Pachulia.
That would be a fair point. Both Warriors legends, actually.
All right.
That's disgusting, Retro. I'm gonna kick you in the nuts so hard.
All right. Well, with that being said, our history fact on the day, time of recording, is 12/16/25. Really, nothing fucking happened on this day. So, I just picked one that gets to shit on somebody else in this fucking call, like normal. 1967, Wilt Chamberlain of the 76ers scores 68 points on the overrated Chicago Bulls.
Wilt's still the GOAT. Shout out Wilt. One of the GOATs.
Right.
One of the GOATs for all time.
Retro, I wish I could say it was nice to have you back, but
it's always
you're
nice to
here.
Have you. And it's great to be back, ladies and gentlemen. It has never felt good.
Well, Gunner P4, if you guys made it to this part of the podcast, we really do miss you. And we really do appreciate you. Because now we're back on our normal bullshit, and Jules is going to have to take some ibuprofen.
And back in town. The real GOAT has returned. Ladies and gentlemen, play Homecoming by Kanye West, because I am coming home again. And I am back, and I am here.
As Justin would say, Retro is a co-host of all time. So with that, we don't know.
Co-host of all time.
No, just you're one of the co-hosts of all time.
The greatest of all time.
With that, this was We Don't Know Ball with Justin, unfortunately, Retro, and Jules. We will see you next week with We Don't Know Ball. Like, share, subscribe. Leave a comment. Engage with us so we can talk about more bullshit with Retro, Justin, and myself. We'll talk to you next week. Peace.